Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It's August 12th. This will be our chart lesson for today, and it's mostly downhill today. We had one leg down, then we went sideways for a little bit before we started another leg down. And of course, you'd want to measure this first leg like so, and then this is where the second leg really started, right in here. And you can see we didn't quite get there. We came close, but that would have been my first target if I'm trading this downward. And we had a good bit of really sideways here until around lunchtime when you could say we really started the downtrend here. But right in here, you'd want to play this as a failed break lower. It looked like we were going to still be a range day, although it does turn back down. And there's a two-tiered channel here. It doesn't help you a whole lot, but it does set up where you can find it would have given you a reversal down here, obviously, and it does set up some of these shorter term trend lines. As we dig in, you'll see them there. But this would have been my first target right here. But let's back out, and you had to be a little patient this morning because early on there weren't many setups. It was kind of hard to figure out what the market was going to do. Obviously, you want to be looking for shorts, but I just don't see any good setups in here. 7 o'clock came right in here somewhere. I think right in here. And it looks like you may be going to get a failed second entry short, but this was a big spike and channel down. So we're going to test this low again. Probably make another leg down. So you got to be real careful about getting long in here. After that being the first convincing close outside, you would expect prices to try to go downward again. And notice you got this little short-term trend working up. You get a break, move to a new high, and then you're just waiting for a chance to enter. And you really never get a good chance. There's a failed second entry long right there. Notice that eye, first entry, second entry. But you're going short right into that support and right at the low of the trend channel. So there's a chance you're going to bounce here, and that's exactly what happens. And you would have got stopped out. Let me make this a little bigger. But yeah, you can see that there. If you'd have taken that failure, you would have just got stopped out right there, only to watch it go on up. But then now you got your break and a new high, so just wait on a lower high. Once you get one right here, but you got too much congestion, too much sideways, you finally get a decent looking bar here, but it's an inside bar. It's not. This is really your signal bar, so I think that's risky as well. You might go short there maybe, but I just think you're taking a big chance. We'll make that one green. Inside bars are always iffy. You get a lot of trouble with them. If that would have made a matching high, I'd say go short there. And you may not even gotten in that one anyway because it gaps over the EMA right there and there's no overlap. So I don't know if you could have got in it anyway. You get a lower high here, but again, not a very good signal bar, and you've already had a close outside and now a new low in place. So same thing here. You get a second entry short, and you could look at it as a failure out of this little congestion area. But again, your signal bar is very bullish, and the bearish bars and the next bar in line with a lower high. That's always risky taking that trade. The only way you might enter this was when it broke below the big bearish bar. You might drop a limit order one tick below here where you would have originally gotten short if that was a good signal bar, and it would have come back and filled you, and you could have gotten a scalp out. But you need to make sure you got enough room to get out before here. We're probably going to try to make a new low, but you've already had a break and a new low in place with two legs down, so it's starting to get risky to enter in here. And you can see we're just kind of chopping sideways. And then finally, you come back here and you get a double test. You made that high, you test it once, twice, you get a big bearish bar. It's a second entry short. Look at that low. First entry, second entry. And so that's your first really decent setup. You get a lower high here. It broke higher than turned and went out the other side. You still got plenty of room to get out. So you could have entered either one of those. I like them both. But really, you had to wait until 9 o'clock before you really got a decent setup today. So it was a little, and the only problem is most of this is my signal bars are not very good, and it's choppy. If you had some good signal bars in some of these spots, you might take these trades. If I had a good signal bar right here, I may take it. Same thing here. Um, yeah, you know, I like to use these signal bars to filter my trades, and I've learned that even though you see some moves take off without you that had a bad signal bar, for the most part, using signal bars to filter your trades will save you a lot of headache, heartache, and a lot of lost money. So I believe in it. So I stick to that signal bar rule, which, in other words, if you're going long, you want a bullish signal bar. And if you're going short, you want a bearish signal bar. And this one actually broke higher and turned lower, so you got that lower high with plenty of room. And then we bounce down here again. You make a higher low right here, but not a very good signal bar. Here's your reversal pattern. The only reason I don't like this trade is because this looks like a range, and now you're right back up into the highs without much room. You still may take that one because it's a reversal, and really you may be looking at this as the high, and you got enough room then. And you can see that's where it went before it kind of found resistance. You end up getting a breakout pullback long right there. But again, not a very good setup. Comes back up here, it turns down where the previous resistance has been, right along here. And that bar is tempting right there. I did not mark it. You probably should at least mark that green. Being that far away from the EMA and being where there's some strong resistance, this may turn out to be an important high, and of course it did. You can see what happened after that. Generally, you want to wait on a lower high or reversal pattern, and here's your lower high, not a very good signal bar. Here's your reversal, everything's set up great, and that would have been a good place to enter. And off it goes down to the low side. Again, this is an inside bar. You could look at this as a second entry short, but again, it's not a very good setup. So you just kind of have to watch that go without you. And then now you get a failure out the low side, which you can see all that support that's been across there. And now you get a failure out, and look how far away we are from the EMA. And this bar actually went lower and then turned and went out the other side. It doesn't really matter. I'd probably wait for it to finish regardless. So it's a relatively big bar, so you might let it break higher and drop a lemon order a little further in. And you could have gotten filled that way. It did break higher and back up a little bit and give you a better entry. So you may enter there. The better place is on the higher low. Still a lot of room back to the EMA. And then there's your reversal pattern. On a breakout, there's a little bit of with this being right back into the support resistance line, but we did push through and pull back, and it did close above the EMA. So I like that one. I really thought we were going to go on higher. I was a little surprised to see it. You run up here and get a scalp and then back up so quickly, but sometimes it does that, and all they did was just run some stops here, and then they took it right on back up. Didn't mean to do that. Took it right on back up where it was. So actually I put that back at the wrong spot, didn't I? But yeah, I like those two longs there. This being the safest trade. Then you get a break of this, and then it rallies on back up. But I don't see any reason to enter there. I don't see anything I like about that. It does come back and test the breakout area again and holds its support and gives you a nice bullish bar on another high. You're making higher lows up through here. So you may take that one. Of course, it works on up. You don't want to be trying to short this. You want to make sure it's going lower first, and then you actually get a confirmation of this trend line right about here. You can see you draw it off the lows and drag it up, and it fits right in there. And that's a big bearish bar. It actually went higher and turned and went out the other side. I like going short right there. And if this would have broke higher, this would have been a nice second entry short, but it doesn't, and you're just kind of going sideways there. So that's a little bit too congested for me. Then you drop down and you just kind of going sideways again. Line not square there for whatever reason. Still don't think it's right, but that's close enough. And then you're just going sideways. You actually get a little failed break lower, but you don't want to go long back into that trend line. So when it breaks out here and fails with that nice bearish bar, I like going short right there. And you don't know that it's going to take off like that, but as long as you got enough room to get out before the lows of the little trading range, that's what you're looking for. And you actually get a first entry short there and a second entry that fails and turns back down, and it is off that short-term trend line coming right down through there. So I like going short there. You do have to go short at the low of the day right there, but they got people trapped, and we're probably going lower. And you know your measured move was way on down there. So then you make another new low, pull back first entry, another second entry short, right off a trend line, right off of EMA, and it actually tries to go higher once again and gives you another lower high with another little real bearish bar, another chance to get short. And that takes you into the 2 o'clock hour. I don't see anything here that I'd really want to trade after 2 o'clock. So it seemed like a really, I mean, you had to be really patient today. This was kind of a, you know, your chart could have looked a little different. You might add some more signal bars. My signal bars were just not very good today, and so it made it real difficult. And we really weren't trending. We were just more or less going sideways here, and it wasn't real clear that we were trending lower again until we made this lower high and started working again. And I would have measured that first measured leg like I showed you, but I'd also measure one here. I'd measure this one and then bring it over here too. And that would give you a secondary target, a little, and you can see we actually bounced for a second there before going a little bit lower. So you had to be patient today. Not a lot of trades. There's enough here, but it's hard to be. Sometimes it's hard to sit there from 7 o'clock. If you come in at 7 like me, it's hard to sit there till 9 o'clock every morning. But if you don't, there's a good chance you're going to get whipsawed or messed up. So, yeah, you got to learn to just be patient and wait on things to happen. And today was one of those days. So, yeah, not much else we can say about today. Just kind of another day where the market went a little lower. We're right around that 2,900. We're still hovering around 2,900 at this point. So, but anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. I'm done for today. Hope you had a good trading day. I'll see you tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.